Well,
Yeah.
let's get in there. It's wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much for taking a minute out for the show today.
Thank you.
You bet. So let's begin our journey with what we kind of talked about before we got on. You know, being in Sweden, your response as a country was different for COVID than the rest of the world. So I'm curious, how did you make it through that time period? And how has it changed the way that you work and do your things today?
Mm, that is a really, really good question. I mean, I was actually 3 weeks into a new position. And that was a very strange situation for me because even though I had been in the company corporate world and I was then at the Volvo Group, I had been in the group for nearly 20 years. So I knew the company, but I was totally new in this setup that I was put into. It was at the headquarters, and none of my colleagues were Swedes, and none of them were kind of close to me. So 3 weeks into this new position, I got a call from a colleague of mine from France. And I asked her, hi, how are you doing? She said, well, actually not good at all. Okay, what is it? Well, we just got informed that we are not no longer to be at the work at the office and do what we are supposed to do. And I kind of, well, yeah, but that would never happen to us. I mean, we are at the headquarters. We are the busy ones. We are in Sweden. That would never happen. And this was I remember it because it was a Tuesday afternoon. We had this conversation. And what happened Thursday? We got the same call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was really and being new, even though I was old in the company, but very new in the position. And we got to stay home. First of all, it was 3 weeks, and then it extended to 6 weeks, and then it became as a total 6 months.
Yeah.
So I started my new position to be home for 6 months, and then when I was coming back again, as I was the only Swede. And of course, we know that everyone came back to work in different paces all around the world. So my manager and my colleagues, they were not there. So I had to make up my own what I was going to do. And yes, it was a very interesting situation.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into your work. I'm going to put you
Hmm.
in front of a bunch of kids. They tend to get the truth out of us. They're 12 or
Hmm.
13 years old. You're at a career day, and one of the kids wants you to explain what your day job is. How do you synthesize your work to make sense to their brains?
Mm. What I do. Um, what popped up in my mind is what when I tried to explain to my kids when they were in that age what I was doing, and then it was really to show them with playing games. Yeah, but with that this person is not really that don't really know what to do, and how do you talk to that person to get to know what they are supposed to do and not, and how to treat the other ones, and when you have a friend that is not really good to you, how do you treat that one, and so on. That is what I do, but I do it with adults.
Yeah.
So really to explain what I'm doing, I think it's extremely hard to do, but just
Sure.
having that, making the life for all of us a little bit more easy. When you go to school, you want to go to school and you want to thrive in what you're doing during the day. You want to be able to learn, you want to be able to play with your friends, you want to explore new things. That is what we want to do in the adult world as well, and that is what we are supposed to do within the business world as well. And that is what I'm supporting the organizations with and the leaders with, to find that the way where we can thrive every day and actually have fun as we are doing what we are supposed to do.
So, what did you want to be when you were a kid? What was your dream job?
I wanted to become an actress.
Okay. Did you act?
Yeah,
Did you do that? Did you pursue
I
it?
did. I
Okay.
did. I did. I was I was playing the cello, so that was one thing that I wanted to do. Either I was going to be a musician, and I was going to be a teacher within the music and cello. And if I could not do that, I wanted to become an actress. And I ended up in doing both in my late teenage years. And I went to London because I wanted to be able to speak fluently English, and I wanted to be able to be part of their stage schools in England. So that is what I did. I did it in high school, and then I went to London to continue to study English as well as yeah, acting.
So, who were your inspirations, whether it was in music or in acting? Who inspired you to want to be in that world?
Madonna. I mean,
Okay.
of course,
Yeah.
she's still a superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, having her, I'm born in 1970, and when I was a teenager, she was yeah, in the start of her career as
Yeah.
well. So it was I mean, just looking at her and be able to be express yourself in the way that she's doing, and also to yeah, she was definitely one superstar for me. And there are many more, but if I should pick one, um
Madonna. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So take me back to your childhood. What was it that gave you this creative flair to want to be in the arts and to
Mm,
eventually evolve to where you found your voice today and you're
mm,
helping people? How did
mm,
all of that begin for you and evolve into who you are today?
mm. I'm born. Um, my parents. One of my mother. She's working within the arts part, and my father is a teacher. But my father also liked to be on the stage, and as a teacher, playing around with the kids and really tell stories. So I'm brought up with parents who are doing what they really want to do and express themselves in the field of art and music and acting and so on. And what they also did was that when I was young, when I was 10ish, they had people coming home once a week. They had like big communities or parties with families coming to our house, and we were doing a lot of different things with drama and music and all those kind of things. So it's always been in my DNA to have that with me. And then, of course, we all want to please our parents in one way or another. And I think that even though I loved to be within the on the stage and be playing the cello, but I think that a part of that was also to actually make my parents proud of me,
Yeah.
um, and show them that yeah, this is who I am. I'm sitting here in this orchestra and playing this beautiful yeah, symphony art or piece and so on. So um, yeah, growing up in it was kind of a hippie
Yeah.
atmosphere
Yeah.
around my family.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I'm born in 1970, and my parents were really those who wanted to, yeah,
Yeah. I get it.
find themselves as well.
Totally. I get it. So let me
Yeah,
ask you this. Who has been your inspirational force, your hero in your life that's allowed you to have these dreams and to find your voice right now in life?
my grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandmother and both of my grandparents actually, or grandmothers, but the one that came up in my mind as you gave me the question is my father's mother, who's always been this warm person who's always been, I mean, no matter how crazy things I did, because I was a quite crazy teenager. So no matter how crazy things I did, she was always there for me. She was always there listening. She gave advice. If I was sad, if I had my heart broken, she was the one that I called.
Yeah.
And having an adult just being there for you, to cheer you no matter what you are doing, and who sends you the love. I think that is so important, to have that relation to some adult, who can be your yeah, the one that is holding your hand.
Yeah. So let me ask you
Mm.
this. In the
Mm-hmm.
realm of business as a business coach,
Mm-hmm.
what business exists out there that you admire, that you look up to? Maybe you could spend some time with the CEO or the leader of the company. That might help you on your journey with what you're doing with your clients. Is there a business that you really respect out there and admire?
I wouldn't say a specific business. What I am looking for, and the businesses that I admire, and also the CEOs that I admire, are the ones that dare, and the ones that dare to be vulnerable for real. And why I see that as so important is that I know that those are also the ones that will make the biggest impact in the world. And for me, coming from where I am, and who my deepest values, that is so important for me, that you are always looking at the human perspective, and what can we do to make the world a little bit better place to be in. So it doesn't matter if it's a tech company or if it is an industry, any other kind of industry, or whatever it is, as long as you have a company, a business that is really eager to explore and find new paths, and curious about what is around the next corner,
Yeah.
and also then willing to look at themselves, and just as you are asking me those questions, okay, but what was your dream, who impacted you, what made you become who you are today? I mean, those are the questions that I embed in my coaching as well, when I'm meeting CEOs and when I'm meeting organizations, because it has such a great impact
Yeah.
on how they will lead the company and organization, and if it is sustainable or not.
Yeah. So let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Dealing with human beings in your business, you have to kind of get into their minds, and there can be murky things. There can be a lot
Mhm.
of confusing things going on. How do you
Mhm.
ground and protect yourself and allow yourself to do the best possible job that you can do? And you also have a soul too. What is that energy every day for you to take care of all of it holistically at the best of your abilities?
I start my day with some meditation, and after I've done that, I take my morning walk. And the reason why I always give myself, because it is a gift to myself, to do that and make sure that that fits into my calendar. Of course, there are days when I'm not managing it, but as a routine, because that will impact the rest of the day. That will ground me, and that will take away the stress and tension that I might have in my body. So really set the intention for the day, and take my morning walks, and starting the day in a regulated feeling, because that will make me much more resistant for whatever that I might yeah, be faced with during the day. Um, because yes, I do meet a lot of people, and I do hear a lot of stories. Some of the stories are not that nice,
Yeah.
And because we are people, we are human, and we all have skeletons in our wardrobe. And I'm not a therapist, but sometimes it seems as a coach
Yeah.
and as a business coach, you get those things anyway.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because that also makes it easier for me to be able to support the one that I have in front of me. If I know the fears and whatever it's in the, yeah, whatever skeletons is there. Um, and me, I have to be able to be regulated and be grounded, because when I'm regulated and grounded, and this is also one of the things that I'm teaching, because this has actually to do with teaching and learning my clients, is how to regulate themselves, because it will impact their peers, that will impact their team members, that will impact their organization. And the more grounded and regulated we are, the better we will do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a dream tonight. You run into that 18-year-old version of you that wants to be an actress, that has this
Mm-hmm.
dream. And you walk
Mm-hmm.
into a room and you hit play on a film projector, and the highlights of your life come up on screen for 60 seconds.
That is a beautiful question, and I do believe that I do want to say yes.
Yeah.
I do want to say yes, because in some sense I have always had this within me, that I, even though I'm not an actress in the sense of being in movies or on the theater stage, I'm still doing my speeches, and I'm still doing my, I have my training, I have my audience anyway, in another perspective, and and in the way that I'm doing it today, I do believe that I have an even greater impact than I would have had as an actress. So even though, yeah, so it's yeah, it's a vague answer.
No, no, you were pretty clear. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let me ask you this. In that highlight reel of your life, what are you the
Hmm.
happiest about, the proudest about?
Being a mother.
Yeah.
And I sometimes I do get that question, and uh, I remember the first time I got that question. It's probably 20 years ago, something like that, and it just came up to me, being a mother, and the way that the faces that I got then was, why are you not proud of being a profession, or what you have done professionally? Yes, but proud of being a mother, and the way that I have been able, and I'm laughing a little bit because, of course, I'm not the most best mother in every day of my life, but seeing your kids growing up, and I have two grown up children now. They are 29 and 32, and seeing them become a mother themselves. And also, I have a little son who's 8, so I have 20 years in between my youngest daughter and my son, and really being, I'm so proud of them,
Yeah.
and that is why it comes so quick to me that yes, being a mother is what I am most proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. As an artist at heart, musician, actress, what was the first live concert you saw growing up that blew you away? Do you have a memory of that?
um
Or that made a deep impact?
yeah, and what came up in my mind, the first thing, was a concert. I do believe it was in somewhere in Hungary. I'm not sure if it was in Hungary or in Wien or somewhere, but I know it was when I was on a concert tour with my symphony orchestra, and I was probably like 15 or something like that, and we were listening to this symphony orchestra, and that blew me away
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
And so that is one part. And then when we are talking about more popular music, That was in when I've been on concerts with Madonna as well, but
Yeah.
what I'm thinking about that then is Prince, who
Wow.
came to Sweden and to one of our major arenas, and I think that was the first big concert that I attended.
Yeah.
So I must say Prince.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
amazing. S-
yeah.
So let me ask you this. Everyone has a
Mhm.
perception of you. Family, friends, clients, colleagues, everyone that knows you, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
I am a warm person that is firm in my values, and I know what I want, and I have grown into a person that also knows when to say no and when to say yes. I have my closest friends, and I love my closest friends. And I love people, but I choose my people.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I would say about me is a person that always wants to explore new things and see the world as open for us.
I love it. So if anybody wants to reach out for coaching, any of the good business, where do they find you? How
Mm-hmm.
do they do that?
Mm. They find me easily on LinkedIn, where my name is, and you can search me there. And I am answering all the DMs myself. So just give me a shout there, and I will reach out or reach back to you. Or you can reach me on my homepage, my webpage, which has the same name as I have. So it's easy there as well. And then we have hannacurman.se as it is in Swedish or in Sweden.
Okay, excellent. Hannah,
Yeah.
so great to meet you. Thank you so much for your story. Thank you for your time today. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
And